Who else has missed Tim Burton? Because I know I have. He's kind of modernised himself a bit to, I think, expand his audience beyond fans like me about his age, into the goth shtick, the whole thing. But stay put. If you do like Tim Burton, stay put. And I'm going to give a non-spoiler review of why you should be watching it. If you don't like Tim Burton, I don't know whether or not I'd really like to say, oh yeah, you should try it out. But yeah, try it. But it is still pure Tim Burton. And that's why I loved it. Join me after the scroll for the review. Bonjour. I did really enjoy this show. It's not... I kind of knew what to expect and hoped it would be this. But I didn't expect it to be this good. It is kind of like a 7 or 8 hour, it's 8 episodes, so it's kind of like, and they're nearly an hour an episode, so it's like a 7 or 8 hour Tim Burton film. So if you loved everything from Edward Scissorhands onwards, and I know he did stuff earlier than that, if you like his shtick, he directs the first 2, I think, or maybe 3 episodes of this. But nevertheless, the guys and girls that take over writing and directing duties after he set the world up, which I thought was a really good idea. It really stamps the look and the feel of the locations, the characters, and the storyline, and gets you into that weird and wonderful world that they are expecting you to follow. The characters, like, take them half seriously, because you've got to take these characters. It can't be all stupid, which the guys that did The Munsters fell down so tragically with that movie. So tragically done it, but they have pitched this so nicely. There's even a couple of nods to the old... So you've got all the characters in the show. Let's get down to it. You've got all the characters from the old show that you know and love. Right, cool. All modernised, brought up right up to date into the modern world. Cool. And then from there, obviously, it's Wednesday's story. They do introduce you to Catherine Zeta-Jones and old Louis Guzman. They are hamming it up as the mum and dad. They ham it up to glorious perfection. You couldn't get any... If it was any more hammier, then Muslims couldn't watch it. I tell you what, it was ham all the way, but glorious for it. Because obviously this is, you know, it needs some of that, but then because you're drilling down into the seriousness, the intensity of Jenny Ortega as the title character Wednesday, and she is absolutely incredible in this role. When you kind of see an interview of her off screen in real life, and then look at the performance in this, and she is the uber goth, with the attitude, with the dress. You know, she's got this kind of, there's this steampunk kind of goth look, and she says right at the beginning, I think it's in the first episode, that she's allergic to colour. And there is tons of stuff like that. There's tons of stuff, and she says that when she meets the girl, she gets sent to boarding school, Nevermore, where her mum and dad went, and then the mystery unfolds from more or less the first episode, because her mum and dad went there and they've got a bit of a name for themselves. And then, you know, like I say, this is a non-spoiler review, but you could have probably got all this from the trailer. They set up the mystery beautifully in the first 2 episodes. But what they do is they give the audience, this is what I really loved. So she's a clever dick, old Wednesday, right? And she's good at everything. Now, don't think that, oh my God, like, where is there to go with this character? Because she's good at fencing and she's good at fighting, and she takes out people, you know, with karate, and she tells you why, because her dad has been, and there's some great conversation between her and her dad about what they used to do when she was a kid. It's just so funny. It really is. And dark humour. within that weird and wonderful world. Um, but yeah, that could be a really boring setup. Like a lot of modern day storytelling, the heroine, and it is always the girl characters, they're so good at everything, there's nowhere for anything to go. But this isn't her story arc. Her being good at everything doesn't mean that she doesn't have an arc in this, and it's a good. It really is good. You know, she comes out the episode 8 as like changed, slightly different, still weird and wonderful, still pure goth, which I did love. There's a great scene. I don't know if you've seen it yet on anywhere else. A dance scene at a party, which she choreographed herself. Now, I was a goth back before goth was a word. So I think it was only when Marilyn Manson come along that it was called goth. But if you was listening to The Cure and The Cult and Sisters of Mercy and the Cramps and loads of others back in I would say the early 80s. It was before, I don't know when the word goth come along, but anyway, I was there before, being weird and wonderful, before it was called that. But that dance, getting back on track. So the dance. The reason I mention that is because the dance she does at this party reminded me of how we all awkwardly had to dance to this music. She makes it look quite beautifully quirky, and she choreographed it herself. So fair play to her. I can't praise her enough. Now Thing is in it also. So I don't know if this is it's no surprise. He's in right from the beginning, which is, if you remember, that is the hand. So I'm going to say they. No, because I don't know whether that could be a woman's hand or not. But I'm going to say they. How the creators of this show, managed to make the Thing an actual character in this, and if you watch it, you'll realise what I mean. I didn't think it was going to work when they first turn up, but do you know what? How the hell they made it work? And when episode 8 finished, I thought, wow, they've actually made a floating hand, an actual character in this show. It's almost they are Wednesday's partner in sleuthing, because she's got to solve this mystery. That's the basic story. There is nothing subverting expectations in this. It's quite a traditional setup because all the weirdness is there, so it's pointless being weird with a format. Anyway, back on track. Well, sorry, I'm gushing. She goes to the boarding school, and what they do in the first couple of episodes, as I was saying all that time ago, is they set up the mystery so well that Wednesday doesn't know certain things, even though she's good at everything. But what they do is they let the audience in, more or less, on not who's done it, not on quite who's done it, because there's different factors of it, but they give us a massive clue right in the first episode that Wednesday doesn't know about, which means all the way through her mystery solving, you're thinking, yeah, but what about that bit? What about that? I won't say who. You'll see it. When you watch it, you'll see it. But what that means is that you're thinking, when is she going to find out about that? That was an obvious clue in the first episode. But they do that on purpose for the audience, so that we're kind of, for all her cleverness, the audience, we are one step ahead of her. And what that does is, as she's making a few mistakes or getting misled by several nefarious people, is that you're on her side. You're emphatically on her side. And I thought that was a genius piece of storytelling, because she could be cold. Well, where she comes across right at the beginning as cold and standoffish, through that device, they make her likeable. You're on her side. And I thought that was, I thought that was great. All the characters are there. They do a little nod to the old show for the old fans, which is a bit of script. And I know these aren't spoilers, but there is a sentence in it where someone says "you rang," and I thought, "Oh, nice." It was almost like someone was winking at the screen the way they did it. And there's a part of it, and you will come and you will know it straight away where they do the, which I thought was really good. And all the characters in it. Lurch is the driver, and Uncle Fester turns up, and the actor who plays Uncle Fester. Oh, and the characterisation they give, he's almost a cameo, Uncle Fester. He's not in it a lot, but when he does show up, all the acting performances in this, like from Catherine Zeta-Jones and Louis Guzman and Gwendolyn Christie, she has her fair share of the ham off of the other two, and there isn't a bad performance in this. All the assembled characters around Wednesday, which is also very, very nicely done, because as much this whole series, Jenny Ortega just leads everyone through this series. Without a doubt, they've hung it around her neck, and she leads it all the way through. But you do need a team of characters around a character like that. I've always said this, and they do that well. All the young actors around it, there is not a bad one there. A standout for me is Bestie Enid, or not Bestie, or Rumi Enid, and Bianca, who plays these like one of the serpent-y kind of characters. She has that a great measure of intensity, and they've done her eyes like nicely, like for the characterisation, but nevertheless she has her own little arc in it that I really enjoyed. So overall, okay, there's another couple of little things in it that I've made notes of, but in a way I think I've said enough. If I haven't made you want to go and watch it, I kind of don't want to give you any more, because I had a little list of little bits that are little tiny bits that are in the background and stuff. But I think I'd rather you go away and enjoy it. I think I will leave it there. You know, if you like the music full of, you know, plenty of cello, dark and ominous, and misty night scenes in the forest, and, you know, one dark mystery to solve, all the loads of elements to be, you know, like she says in the series, this is like a puzzle that I'm not seeing all the I know that's a very classic trope, but nevertheless it is done very, very well, properly modern. If you thought that Burton, if a criticism of Burton that even I'm aware of is the fact that he can go too gothic and old-fashioned and kind of be too oldie-weldy, well, this might be the one for you. And I hope I hope everyone gives it a chance, not just Tim Burton fans, but I think there's still plenty about. And this is an oddball, and it should be. The school she goes to is for oddballs, and I love it. Loved it for that, and I thoroughly recommend it. So I'm going to leave it from there, on there, and then and I hope you enjoy it. If you do, let me know in the comments. Please comment. Give me a thumbs up if you like the vid. If you don't like the series, come back to me. Tell me why. Let's get into the conversation, because not everyone's going to like it. Let me know, what didn't I see that you thought, oh my God, this is you. You know, maybe not. But anyway, you know what I'm like. I love waffling, so I'm going to stop now. If you have, thanks for watching this far. And until next time, I will bid you adios.